Hello, Steve from dudehack.com, and today we are going to be talking about how Coffee Meets Bagel works. Coffee Meets Bagel, or CMB, is an online dating app or website that is focused on matching like-minded people without endless amounts of swiping. The vision behind Coffee Meets Bagel came from three sisters, and originally it was released in New York, Boston, and San Francisco. But since then, it has now taken over the world. The point of difference is that Coffee Meets Bagel provides a slower matching style. If you haven't really picked it up by now, the whole idea of Coffee Meets Bagel is rather generating you suitable like-minded matches rather than just endlessly swiping through profiles. Look, in other words, Coffee Meets Bagel is essentially a matchmaking service which has been adapted into an app. Along with its anti-swiping type approach, Coffee Meets Bagel will match you with other profiles using something called its smart algorithm. And since they've launched, they've actually facilitated over 1 million dates. Okay, but let's get into exactly how Coffee Meets Bagel works. Now, using their smart algorithm, every single day at noon, you will be sent your matches, which are called your bagels. Once you receive your bagels, you can either match with them or kindly pass. So the whole idea is the work is done for you to present people that you would be most likely to be compatible with without having to go and waste your time swiping on people you wouldn't be. The number of bagels that you will be suggested per day does alter. Some days it will be more, some days it will be less. The app also gives you the ability to search someone via a set amount of criteria. Also, it offers a paid premium subscription, which we'll get into in a little bit. But look, Coffee Meets Bagel is a very simple platform to use, and once you figure out the lingo, what a coffee is, what a bagel is, you'll wrap your head around it very, very quickly. But first, let's talk about how you go about setting up your Coffee Meets Bagel profile. Now, first things first, you'll go in either your App Store or the Google Play to download the app depending on what device you have. Just like most dating apps, they'll ask for your email, your phone number, and a few other little bits and pieces of information. Now, from there, you can actually start building out your profile. One thing you can do on Coffee Meets Bagel is select what you are looking for. So whether that's something serious or something casual, you can actually put that in on Coffee Meets Bagel. Now, after you've selected what you're looking for, you'll go ahead and you'll fill out some pretty basic information, just like your location, your height, your ethnicity, your age, and your religious beliefs. Just like pretty much any other dating app, you'll be asked to upload a photo. Next, you will fill out your prompts. Now, prompts, just like Hinge, is a series of questions for you to answer that you can have displayed on your profile. A really good way to make a first impression, hopefully have a bit of an icebreaker, and find somebody like-minded when they see that you would probably have pretty similar answers to them. The prompts range from things like, you know you're having a good date when, and my perfect Sunday morning is, and just things like that, where you'll finish a sentence or answer a question. For these ones, don't be afraid to show a bit of humor, show your personality a little bit. The fact that Coffee Meets Bagel does include these, it's a great way to flesh out your profile rather than just being boring with one simple bio and one picture. Now, as I said, you'll use some of that information as icebreakers. But in Coffee Meets Bagel, there actually is a feature called Icebreaker. You can select to add an icebreaker. This will essentially be a little blurb or a little fact about yourself. It would basically just be something that you would like your match to hopefully start the conversation on. Next, let's talk about how you actually will find a match on Coffee Meets Bagel. Keep in mind, on the app, there will be 4 distinctive tabs at the bottom of the screen, and each of those do serve a different purpose. Those 4 tabs are Suggested, Likes You, Discover, and Chats. Now, Suggested will be the bagels that you're suggested on a daily basis. Likes You will be just like Tinder, for example, where you can see a list of every single person who has liked you already. Chats is where all your conversations will be. And the Discover tab is where you can find other bagels outside of your suggestions. Basically, these will be bagels that are just outside of your criteria and therefore weren't suggested to you in the first place. In the Discover tab, you will be able to search via a number of filters so you can view profiles that basically match a set criteria. So if you only want to see some person of a certain height, for example, you can jump on the Discover tab and do so. So you've got a match. How do you actually go about messaging? Now, once you and another profile have matched, you've mutually showed interest within each other. That is when you can go ahead and start a conversation. Remember, any conversation will be done out of the Chats tab. Now with Coffee Meets Bagel, either gender can start the conversation at any time. There's no rules in that if you don't send a message, your match will be expired or anything like that. Now, one great thing I've found about Coffee Meets Bagel is chats will stay open for a total of 7 days. So you've really got 7 days to make an impression and get that conversation going. Otherwise, it will expire. So the reason that I feel that this is such a good feature is it does give you a decent amount of time to make a real connection with someone, i.e. 7 days, but it also just gives you a little bit of that sense of urgency so you make it happen. But keep in mind, if you really want to, chats can be extended. On top of that, when you do have a premium account, which again, we'll get to, you can actually view how often the other person will send the opening line. So that could give you a little bit of an idea if you are the one to start it or they are. Now, if you're still with me at this point and you've enjoyed anything that we're talking about, please go ahead and press the thumbs up button. But how does Coffee Meets Bagel's algorithm work? As I said before, Coffee Meets Bagel have coined the term smart algorithm, but what exactly does it mean? Well, remember I said that within the app you can select your preferences, so whether that's their height, religion, ethnicity, and things like that, but you can also select deal breakers. So essentially, if you are not too picky, the pool is quite large. But on the flip side of that, if you have a lot of very select preferences, the pool might be quite substantially smaller. Now, in terms of what actually affects the algorithm negatively or positively, I'm not exactly sure. I can't find too much information on it, but as it stands right now, the smart algorithm purely just works off your preferences and your set deal breakers. And just a quick side note, if you've never used Coffee Meets Bagel before, or you're still not sure which dating app is best for you, make sure you head over to dudehack.com and take the free quiz, which will tell you exactly which dating app or site will suit you, your personality, what you're looking for best. Now, a question I do seem to get a lot is whether or not Coffee Meets Bagel is free. Now, the good news with Coffee Meets Bagel is, like apps like say Tinder or Hinge or Bumble, is you can still get quite a lot out of it without ever spending a cent. So without spending any money, you can still go ahead and download Coffee Meets Bagel, get your daily suggestions, search through the discovery page and send likes. But if you do decide that you do want to upgrade to Coffee Meets Bagel Premium, you'll get access to features like Likes You, which is seeing everybody who has already liked you. You will get 8 more likes on the Discover page. You'll unlock extra information about your bagels, for example, whether or not they are likely to send the first message or not. You'll get read receipts, so you will know if your match has read your message or not, so you'll know if you've been left hanging or not. You can send flowers that skip the line, which is essentially putting you right near the top of the swiping deck. And you get 15% more beans. Now, beans are Coffee Meets Bagels in-app currency, kind of like coins or points for other apps. Now, the good news is, as of filming this, there was a 7-day trial going for the premium account, so I highly suggest that you jump in and check if that's still available now. When it comes to Coffee Meets Bagel Premium, what I suggest for everyone, if you are thinking about using Coffee Meets Bagel, is to go ahead and just use the free one for a while before you even consider using the paid version. But with that being said, let's run through some of the prices for Coffee Meets Bagel Premium. Now, these were the prices as of making this video, so keep in mind they are subject to change. They do change depending on your location and whatnot, but the prices I'm going to go through now were the US prices the last time I checked. So you can opt for a 1-month membership, a 3-month membership, or a 6-month membership. The higher you're going, the lesser your monthly paid amount is. 1 month will be $35, 3 months is $75, and 6 months is $120. So at the end of the day, guys, that's basically how Coffee Meets Bagel works. It's pretty straightforward. The big difference to other dating apps being that you are not inundated with just swipe after swipe after swipe. And that's basically it, guys. You've heard a little bit more about how it works. If at this point you're still not sure whether Coffee Meets Bagel is right for you or not, and just my sort of side 2 cents is there probably is a better dating app or site out there for you, what I suggest is that you do go over to dudehack.com and take our free quiz. That quiz will tell you exactly what dating app or site will suit you best. The link is down in the description below, so go ahead and take that quiz now. And if you have enjoyed today's video at all, I would really appreciate if you did go ahead and press the thumbs up button. If you are new here as well, if you did go ahead and subscribe. I'm going to be bringing you these videos every single day for the next 30 days. So make sure you do subscribe and keep your eyes peeled and stay tuned. But until the next video, so tomorrow, I look forward to it. Stay safe, be well, and I will see you later.